Welcome into our overtime segment here at SportsSource.tv. This segment brought to you by the folks at Blue Smoke Cigar and Smokin' Joe's. And from all of those folks, they wish you and yours Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. Want to welcome in this panel, the guys that were on the show today. We have down there Chuck Cavaleras, Jimmy Hyams, Bob Hodge. We are going to do two things in this segment. First of all, we're going to salute the Festivus tradition from Seinfeld. We're going to air grievances. And then also, we are going to allow you guys to give a gift to any UT sports figure that you wish. Can be any gift to any one. All right, I don't know if we've got a graphic in this segment or not, but that's all right if we don't. Let's start. Bob, what is the one thing? Actually, let's start on the other end, because I think you and I are going to go head-to-head on something, so we'll start on another. Starting down there, Chuck, what's the one thing about UT or college sports that bothers you? Air your grievance.
Well, I don't think we can watch a college football game anymore without targeting coming into play, and I don't think the officials fully understand the rule they're trying to implement, and then to suspend a player for a game. I mean, and you'll see it happen time after time after time. They have got to get a grip on the targeting rule and how it should be implemented and what the penalty is. Or I think it's really, really hurting college football.
You've been drinking too much eggnog.
I started to say we've had too much eggnog here because in between segments you said because Jimmy had that,
we
were going to take someone else. So have another glug. Have another glug. Have another glug.
There's not much left in yours.
Have another glug.
Have what?
Have another glug.
Sorry.
It's okay.
I did do that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. All right. Now,
After I said that.
Jimmy, we'll let you go with your version of targeting.
No, I'll go with something else.
Okay.
College football playoff. If you lose 2 games, don't whine about it. Penn State's whining about it. Beat Pittsburgh, and I don't want to hear any more about it. I know that you beat Ohio State head-to-head and you won your conference, but you lost another game. If you've lost 2 games, you don't have a right to argue about teams with 1 loss getting in the college football playoff. So I credit you with winning the conference. I credit you with a lot of things you did, but if you lose 2 games, that's your fault, and so quit whining, Penn State.
But what if your strength of schedule is better than the other guy?
In some cases, I don't know whether it was or not, was it?
No, I'm just saying in general terms. What if somebody had a hellacious schedule with 2 losses?
You can make an argument with that.
I agree with you. I'm not big on whining.
But there's never been a 2-loss team get into the
I'm not big with non-conference champions playing.
LSU got in with the
national
BCS.
championship.
or the Final Four.
But the Final Four, we've only had 3 years of it.
Right.
Do you want to make that your grievance?
Well, I mean, I could, because I don't think that if you didn't win your conference, you can't win a national championship.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Alabama.
Alabama did it.
I mean, Alabama did it. I don't like that. I think that if you can't win your own conference, and I don't care what happened in your conference, tough luck. You shouldn't be playing for a national championship.
What's
And I
your
know it
record?
causes
You could be
problems.
the second best team in the country and be in your conference. So you should be
Which
able to
means
play
you're
for
the second best
championship.
team, and you shouldn't win the national championship.
Unless that team that beats you in the conference does.
I just think that that's problematic with me.
What's the real
Well, I
grievance?
disagree.
My real grievance is Butch Jones and the way he speaks, the way he talks, the way he cliches things out there. And I think fans in some situations deserve to know a little bit more about what's going on, a little bit more about the truth. You could explain why your defense over the last three games was so horrible. You could sit there, you could talk about it, and I'm not talking about totally getting into X's and O's, but here's a perfect example. I talked to a college football player, current college football player, very recently, and he told me that he lost playing time because the coach, he was an outside linebacker, supposed to drop into coverage, except he decided to blitz because they had a clear alley, and the coach pulled him out. And I'm like, and you've got a real problem with that? And is there things like that? Are players not doing what they're talking about or supposed to do? Or coaches not doing certain things? Just give a little bit more of an explanation instead of a cliched answer. I think people would understand it a little bit better.
I would simply flip it and say this. As soon as he comes out and says, well, my assistant coach, everyone's going to say, look at Butch Jones blaming his assistants. He's just pointing the finger elsewhere. Are they not? And
Well,
if he says, well, this
they
player has
probably
played like
would.
crap. Let's go to the wide shot there since we're talking. So they would do some of that, I think?
They probably would. But I mean, still, I think if you're a fan, you deserve a better explanation of what do you think after Florida beat LSU and you were no longer out? We didn't care.
Yeah, I agree
mean,
with
we
that.
weren't even thinking about that.
Or the East Division was not a goal to win.
Yeah, and so I
Never
think
the
there
changes of
are
life
things
came
like
up.
that. And you can get too much into the weeds with
Mm-hmm.
explanations of what went wrong.
Right. I think
But just a little more honesty.
I buy the second part of that more than I do him getting into specifically what went wrong. But I see what you're getting at. That's just, and I would guess I would bet 90% of the people agree with you. I'm in the minority because I think he'd get in trouble either way, which will lead to my gift in a second. But first, my grievance is a lack of perspective from fans and media alike. A lot of media view this as entertainment. And they think that, we just get on there and say whatever it takes to get clicks, say whatever it takes to get ratings. We'll just make stuff up. It's fun. The listeners know. And then they come out and say, hey, we've got this story. It's breaking news. Well, which is it? Are you news or are you entertainment? And the people at home, they just listen. It's a show compared to another show compared to another show. I don't know that they're sitting there thinking, oh, wait, he was being serious. Now he's being an entertainer. Now he's just saying this for effect. I don't think there's a lot of perspective out there in terms of what's going on outside of Knoxville, or if you're in Tuscaloosa, outside of Tuscaloosa, whether it's the fans or the media, for all of the hot takes we all give. This team should never lose to X, or this is the worst quarterback in the country. I don't think a lot of people, we did this during a show back during the fall where we looked around, good example, is Butch Jones' offense stupid, lining up your own end zone in the shotgun. And we showed you, here's Alabama doing the same thing. My grievance is there's not enough perspective from some fans, and I think that's led by some in the media. I don't think there's enough perspective of what's going on and also history, as there should be for all of the hot takes that we throw out there at times.
To piggyback on that, I get angry when I hear people that are cross media say, well, I'll say that on the radio, but I wouldn't dare write it.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
What's the difference?
Yeah, what is the difference? It's okay to say it on radio because it's not credible, but I wouldn't dare write it because it is credible?
Well, because if you write it, that
takes
leaves a
me out.
paper trail, and you say it on the radio, I mean.
It can disappear. That's terrible. There was a story here locally last year that somebody wrote as a story, put it on a website, and then went on the radio show and said, I don't know why everybody's upset about it. We're just talking about a rumor. No, it ceased being a rumor as soon as you put it out there under the guise of a report. Yeah. You didn't write it. This is a complete hearsay rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. You wrote it as a report. It's a report now. Anyway, so perspective with the fans, but I think they're misled by a lot of folks, a lot of us in the media. All right. In terms of gifts, though, I'm coming right back at you. I give to Butch Jones the art of the Bill Belichick press conference. Snort, grunt, do a couple of, we're on to Nebraska. We're on to Nebraska. And there are people that are going to say, well, he hasn't won enough. Doesn't matter. There are people in this media crowd around here who are going to take offense and come after him no matter what. They're fans. He could give all the explanations in the world. They're not going to want to hear it. They'll just say, as I did, hey, now he's throwing people under the bus. He can't take the blame. And if he says it's all my fault, just put it on me, he's not explaining it. So to me, if I were his advisor, I'd tell him, look, you're dead meat anyway, so just go out there, give them nothing. Give them nothing. They're going to be mad. They're going to cut you to shreds anyway. Worry about the team and not the talk. That'd be my gift to him. So it's the opposite of you.
Exact opposite of me.
Yeah.
And that's going to get him fired.
That's
so
wrong.
There you go.
Yeah, because he's
Because it doesn't win. I mean,
that's why he's going to get in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It goes back and forth between where
Yeah.
you are on a winning scale.
Yeah, see, I don't think the talk. I was talking to an Alabama fan this week, and he said they put up with Nick Saban's just mean and rude and ugly to people, and all he wants is if he's winning, nobody cares. But when he loses and he doesn't answer a question, everybody gets mad. So it's just whether you won or lost your last game is basically it.
Or you
Again,
won.
nobody in New England cares about Bill Belichick acting like a baby after every loss, and he does because he wins. You know.
And he's got some Super Bowls, you know.
But I still think it all comes down to if you're winning, you know, people are going to hear that stuff. If you're losing, they're not. But here with Butch Jones, where it is, I think he's lost so many people. You're not getting them back, even if you go out and put out there.
At 10 and 2, you could have been champions of life, and nobody would have.
Yes, but now you're to the point, though, I don't think he can reverse it, I guess is what I'm saying. I don't think changing the way he speaks to people is going to change it. I think they'll move on to find something else they dislike. That said, what is your gift, Jimmy Himes?
My gift would be to give Butch Jones a gator, and then you take that gator and you skin it, and then you wear it. Because gators have tough skin. I think Butch is too thin-skinned about a lot of things. And I think he takes them too personally. He reacts to them. He shouldn't do it. Look, you're going to get criticism as head coach at Tennessee. You're going to get criticism as head coach at anywhere in the SEC. That's all right. That's part of it. But I just think that it bothers him, it affects him, and I wondered also if it affects the way he handles things or the way he coaches a little bit. Don't worry about all that stuff. Get thicker skin, and do your job, win some football games.
See, and I think that's an extension of my Belichick gift. What do you care? Just don't say anything. You don't have to give anybody anything. Just go coach. If you win, take care of itself. And if not, you're doomed anyway. Bob Hodge, I've skipped you. What was your gift?
My gift is to Jarrett Garantano, and it's going to be the gift of some of Josh Dobbs' qualities. Obviously, a little bit more accurate than Josh Dobbs, although Josh Dobbs is very good at it at times. But if you listen to people, Jarrett Garantano is a better prospect than Josh Dobbs ever was. And I think Tennessee is going to need a Josh Dobbs-like player with even more skills if next year they want to do better than 7 or 8 wins. And so I think Josh Dobbs had a thick skin with the media. You never heard him complaining about things.
Never.
Josh Dobbs was, as you said earlier in the program, he was the consummate student athlete. Give Garantano those things to go with the athletic gifts that we've heard that he has.
Agreed. Chuck, who's getting a gift and what are you giving him?
Well, my gift's going to go to Rick Barnes, and it's going to be what he really had the reputation for doing best, and it's developing big men. And my gift would be the next 6'8", 6'10" Kevin Durant. And that's going to be the missing puzzle, I think, at Tennessee, because you found some guards that can shoot, and you've got some small forwards, but you really are going to need to find that centerpiece, the guy you can either protect the rim with and can also score. But that's what Rick Barnes is going to need if he's going to get Tennessee back to the NCAA tournament.
Okay, very good. Guys, I appreciate it. Chuck, Jimmy, Bob, thank you. Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas.
We'll see you 12:05 Christmas night for a bowl preview. That will not be taped. We'll be live right here. In-depth bowl preview on Channel 6. That is coming up December 25th at 12:05 a.m. on the 26th. So it's the 25th, really. 5 minutes into the 26th.
Right.
It's Christmas night.
Christmas night.
All right, guys, I appreciate it. Have yourself a happy and safe Christmas. We'll see you next week.